crisis.
So let's talk about where we currently are 21 years later, and obviously the tragic day that led us on the path that we're currently on. Now, for one, Jay, you and I both were born in the United States, and we grew up both in the U.S. and abroad. Now, one of the things that's interesting about our stories is that you were actually in Oklahoma when 9/11 happened, right?
Yeah, I was in history class. It's one of those events you just remember where you were when it happened. I mean, it was in history class. The teacher brought the TV inside, and it was like we're watching history happening right now. We all thought it was like a movie, like an impromptu movie that was going on, and then we saw the second plane hit live, and like the panic that we saw in the face of the teacher, just it really showed that that it was real. Yeah, it was a haunting moment for a lot of them there.
Oh yeah, so I wrote about my experience on 9/11. I was living in Lahore, Pakistan at the time, and
You whore.
I am a whore. I was in 9th grade, and it was in the afternoon for me, so there was like a 9-hour time difference.
Yeah.
And basically what ended up happening was I was the only one watching cable news because the only it was like right after school. I came home, saw kind of on the TV, Fox and Friends was on because Fox News was the only network we had, American cable news network that we had. So the host says, I can't remember the woman's name. She hasn't been on Fox in decade. I guess now we could say decades plural because it's been 21 years. But
God damn, the way to make me feel fucking old. That's almost 22 years.
So what you're saying, Jay, is you're gonna hit on it when it turns 22. I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think 22 is like the cutoff, right? Like anything younger is kind of weird.
So anyway, okay. So I was in Pakistan when it all happened, and to make a long story short, I was home, but within 10 days after 9/11, had to relocate back to the United States because we were technically evacuated because Al Qaeda and the Taliban put a bounty on all American heads in Afghanistan and Pakistan. So, look, I didn't feel like I was in danger at the time. Like you never really do. It's very surreal, right, Jay? You know, you never.
I wouldn't know. I mean, when I was in Oklahoma and stuff, like there wasn't really that much backlash. I felt, like there wasn't really people blaming me for that happening.
That's unfortunate because they should have.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if they knew my name was Mujahed, but nobody knew my name was Mujahed.
They all knew you, but Jay.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, in any event,
Muhammad.
Or Muhammad. You look like, well, with your receding hairline, you could probably pass for many, many things. You weren't bald at 13, 14, were you?
No, fuck you. I was born 10 years. I was bald 10 years later. At 24, it was all gone.
Mashallah. So, basically within the next 10, so I was evacuated, flew back to the United States on like September 20th, 21st, 2001. Resettled in my family home in Connecticut. But I flew back into JFK in New York, and I was driving through. Well, I wasn't driving, but I was riding through just from JFK back to Connecticut, and you could see the skyline. And like 10 days later, the smoke was still billowing up from Lower Manhattan. Utterly surreal. Never forget that sight. My uncle was actually in the I think one of the smaller towers. I think it was either building 7 or 11. I don't know why I think of 7-11. That was the 7-11, obviously, is the date that we were mostly known for before 2001, right, Jay?
Of course, before 9/11, everybody called it 7-11.
Habibi.